All right, we are live. Happy Saturday. So, been going through my journey, having a lot of fun. And what was interesting, I made a YouTube video a little over a year ago, and it getting really, really good views. So I keep going back to that video, and the video was getting rid of a soda addiction. How do you get rid of a soda addiction? And so I go over the points of what you do to get rid of that addiction. And the other thing that I like to do is whenever I'm doing something, whenever I'm going through a process, I like to sit down and really break it down and figure out why that's so important for people. And I'll start seeing patterns in different areas and different places and spaces. And what was really, really, really fascinating was I've helped people through addiction, whether that's addiction to drugs, whether that's addiction to alcohol, whether that's a food addiction. And the same thing keeps coming up, like pretty consistently. There's patterns to addiction. And people have different addictions, but there's always a pattern behind it. And that it even relates to my power of six. So ultimately, when I go through the process, I'm really, really looking at, okay, are they following these six structures? Because if they're following these six things, they'll get to where they need to go. And addiction's an interesting thing because we're always going to be addicted to something. You know, that's the interesting piece of it all, is we're always going to be addicted to something. The thing is, we get to choose where we're going to place that addiction. And I say this because I took one addiction, which was my soda addiction, and I replaced it with something else, something healthier for me. And there's always a balancing act, right? Because you can go off the end on the other spectrum as well. Like I do feel, I call them health Nazis, the ones who just have to, you got to eat your carrots and your broccoli and your chicken all the time. You can't have dessert, you can't have apple pie, you can't have cake, you can't have any of those things. And so there's figuring out the balance that works for you, right? Figuring out what your balance is going to be and who you want to show up as and how you want to show up. And so I'll tell you my addiction, I am addicted to life. Like I'm absolutely addicted to what life has to offer, what it's going to bring me, what joys I can have, what joys I can create for others, and what joys I can create for myself as well. You know, ultimately, it comes down to pleasing others and pleasing you. You can have both. And that's the other part of the pattern that I look at is sometimes we'll say, well, if I have one thing, I can't have another. And the answer to that is it depends. It depends. Sometimes you can't have one without the other, and sometimes you can. So step back and ask yourself, who do you want to be and how do you want to show up? And what do you want to be addicted to? When I live with passion, with purpose, I feel alive. I feel amazing. And I want to just share it with other people because I feel that way. I feel it and I want them to feel it too. And so it's this infinite cycle of everybody wins. Because the truth is everyone can win. And so my question to you is what are you addicted to? And what do you have a choice on? And what can't you control? And what I mean by that is if you were to take someone who was diabetic and they needed insulin, take the insulin or choose not to and deal with the consequences. But it's not to say you're limited. It's just to say you're using what works for you. Everything has something that works for them. And so if you're dealing with an alcoholic addiction, for instance, get it out of your life. If you're dealing with a certain food craving and it's destroying your life, get it out of your life. If you're dealing with people who are bringing you down and sucking your energy, get them out of your life. And that goes into replacing it with something else. So, what are you going to replace that thing with? Are you going to replace those energy vampires with positive people who are going to bring you up and make you feel amazing? Are you going to replace some of that junky food that's not making you feel so good with food that energetically connects with you more and makes you feel healthier and better in your life? What are you going to do on your journey? What are you going to use your addiction for? Because you're going to be addicted to something. You know, look at the most inspirational people on the planet. They're addicted to life. They're addicted to the feeling that it brings, the high that they get for showing up for themselves and for others. So show up for you. Make sure to show up for you because you can have both. You can show up for yourself and you can show up for everybody else or the people who are meant to be in your corner. I'll say that much. What's up, Gemma? How you doing, superstar? Always coming through. Happy Saturday to you. So you all have an amazing Saturday. Go make it a great day. Go have fun on your journey. Remember who you are. You're a creator and you're a consumer. What are you going to choose to create and what are you going to choose to consume? Because there are going to be consequences to both. And I like healthy consequences. So if you like healthy consequences, go take care of yourself. Take care of your mind. Take care of your body. I'm working with vision driven entrepreneurs. So for my entrepreneurs, take care of your business. You all have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.